Welcome back to, let's do that here. Welcome back to Tool Talk. Today I'm going to review the Makita DCE090. This is the battery powered disc cutter. It's the 9-inch disc cutter. This is a different type of machine from the traditional steel or Husqvarna petrol cut-off saws. Why would I use the electric version over the petrol version? First thing that comes to mind is it's lightweight and it can be used indoors as well. I mean, you're obviously going to use water for dust suppression, but whereas using a petrol saw, you limit fumes, it can be toxic. The electric one doesn't. It's just the dust you got to worry about. There are pros and cons with using electric and petrol. Obviously electric, you've got to think about your batteries, you've got to think about your charge time, you've got to think about your location. Are you somewhere remote where you're not going to be able to charge up? Are you have to rely on a generator to have your power to charge your batteries? So then you end up spending money on fuel anyway. You may just get yourself a petrol cut-off saw. Let's get involved and get into the machine. Obviously we've got our handle over here with our trigger. The trigger will not just go in, there is a little button on this side. I will show you. This side here, press the button, allows you to pull the trigger. And obviously for this demonstration, I've taken the batteries out. We've also got a nice gripped handle. It's not too big, not too bulky. I can get my hand around there, nice and easy. Press the button, and I've got a good grip on it. That's going to be for one of our hands. The other hand is going to be on the top handle. So for those that aren't sure or don't know, when you're using a disc cutter, you'll have your top handle held one hand, trigger handle held with the other. The idea is you can pivot and you can control it using the two hands and able to keep it away from your body. You do see some silly videos out there where lads have got saws and they're holding it like this. Yeah, great, it's funny. When you're doing your cut, if it comes back, you've got no control. So please make sure you're holding it properly. We've got our pipe for a water supply. So if we're cutting stone, concrete, anything like that, you are supposed to use your water supply. It acts as dust suppression and it also aids the blade when it comes to cutting. This is a diamond tip blade, so when we're starting to cut some stone, we'd have a dust pump, which is like a water bottle, which works under compression, or you can have a garden hose. Put it on, open the valve, let the water flow up the pipe, and then this little blue nozzle here emits the water onto the blade as you're cutting. And obviously when you stop cutting, you can turn the valve off, isolate the water supply, take the hose off, job's a good one. So the ideal use for this tool is somewhere where you might be in tight areas or you're just in the occasional cut. It's a very lightweight machine, we can hold it with one hand. That's without the batteries, but even with the batteries, I can still hold it with one hand, carrying it, not using it. It's used 2 batteries, 36 volt. That goes into a housing here. I'll spin this round for you so you can see inside. Not the cleanest, as it is my used machine. It has got a clamp on the side there that locks the seal that goes around the outside edge. It can be used outdoors in all weathers. So you click it open on a hinge. You can see inside we've got a rubber seal around the perimeter. We've got the connection points for the batteries there. This will then close over the battery, stopping any water ingress, stop any damage to the electrics. I told you I'll put a battery in so you can see how we go. I'm not going to put the second one in. So your battery slides in, listen for the click. You can see the housing, over, locks in. It needs 2 batteries to work. We've also got the added feature of a button on the top here that tells us the power that's in the batteries. Handy when you're using the tool, it will flash up when your battery's getting low, so you know that you have to stop your cutting and go and change. We've also got the added aid of a work light, which is on the front here. You turn it on and off, just with a click of a button right next to the handle. Now, this is beneficial if you're working in darker areas. Obviously, you can't see a line that you're cutting very well. Stick the light on, helps aid you. Now, we said before about the convenience of this little machine over the petrol machines. The petrol machines are a lot bigger, a lot heavier, and you have to use your pull cord, you start your choke up, pull your pull cord, kicks the engine up, big revs, and off you go. This machine is literally hold it, trigger on, and off you go. I am going to show you how it sounds and how it works, but it's controlled environments. Don't just start messing about in a room. So, got my handle, got my trigger. If you're listening, Sounds like something out of Tron. But you could hear it started to wind up. It didn't just fire up, it had to wind up first. It's got like a soft start with it. And then obviously when you come to stop, you see the blade rapidly slow down. So great features for that. Because when using an old petrol steel saw, it used to spin around for ages. This has kind of got like the little brakes in it. Something I learned about this machine is this has got active feedback sensoring technology. So if you're doing a cut and you're putting too much pressure into that cut, the machine will then think, right, there's a risk, will shut down, slow down. There is a little star-shaped clear glass on the top there. That does flash red in those instances. It doesn't necessarily mean the battery's down low, it means you're putting too much pressure on. So just remember with these tools, it isn't about pressure, it's about letting the machine glide through using the friction from the blade, aided with water to help it keep going and slowly cut through. It's not a jabbing contest with a saw, very dangerous. So the ideal scenario for one of these machines for me, in my personal opinion, would be for like a landscaper who's got a few slabs to cut, he's doing some finishing off works, and also doing like porcelain cuts. I've personally used these for porcelain. We're doing some metre slabs, 500mm wide, 20mm thick. And we went round, did the initial cut with the 4-inch, then finished it off with this 9-inch. It went round nice and easy with the two handles instead of having the one with the 4-inch pulling away at you. Wouldn't use this on a big commercial job. At one of the brands, the TS400 by Steel or TS410, you've also got the Husqvarna, you've got DeWalt's. The petrol saws, they vibrate more. So if you're cutting slabs, you're trying to get a nice finish, the vibration of the machine can affect the edge and you can chip the edges off. This machine has got very, very little vibration, so you find you get a nicer cut and nicer finish on it. Again, with this machine compared to the likes of Husqvarna and Steel, there's a massive price difference. With these machines, you'll go out, you buy the machine and you get it for about £350 With the petrol cut-off saws, you'll need to constantly buy petrol. You need to buy 2-stroke, so there's ongoing costs, but also they're about 3 times the price. For me, if I was landscape gardener, doing the occasional slabs, cutting a few stones, this will be perfect. The big commercial jobs, use the big toys. So that's my review of the Makita DCE090. If you found it useful, give it a like. And if you like battery, or if you prefer petrol, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one.